Okay, hello. Please tell me you can hear me. Our connection should not be lost though.
Oh, yes, thank you everyone. Good evening. I hope you all are doing well. Give me a second. And oh, good. Yeah. And for those of you joining us from your home, welcome to our current session, UI prototyping. Awesome. And just a minute, and to be sure we are all good. I have with me Damilola, Oluwadamilola from TCK Zone, and we'll be looking into prototyping, rapid prototyping, rapid UI prototyping. And we know, as this is a hackathon, you're probably tied with the constraints of time, and you have to create your prototypes immediately. And so during this session, we'll be hoping to cover how you can build a quick prototype for your product or for your idea, so you can easily take that idea, design your user flows, design your wireframes, and then deliver these designs and build your product. Because considering how fast-paced hackathons can be, you are required to build something usable within a very short period of time. And so that is important. And in doing this, you need to, if you're not able to conceptualize your designs or your flow or how everything works, it may be a problem, or you may have a bottleneck implementing the core features you need. And so, yes, we have with us Damilola. And if you come in, you can just say hello, you can say hi, you can leave a message, and Damilola will be leading us in this session. So, the next person you'll be listening to would be Dami, and her voice will be the one you're listening to. So, hi, Dami, welcome.
Hi everybody. I hope we are doing great today. Yes. So in this session, as Andrea said, we'll be um talking about rapid prototyping and how you can prototype as fast as possible during hackathon. Yes. So I believe some of us already understand what the word prototyping means, but I'll just give you a breakdown. Okay, so for instance, if you have an idea and you would like to quickly draft out some designs to be able to showcase those ideas to your clients or your stakeholders so that everything doesn't have to be in words, so that they get a pictorial view of what your idea is about and how it's going to look like. So sometimes it might not be a full-fledged, completed or concluded prototype or result, but yes, it just has to be something okay your stakeholder can click through and they can get to understand. Okay, these are your major points. These are the things you would like to um, work on, and all of that. So to start with, I'll be talking about the idea I want to run with for this um, for this session. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I picked this idea from Tim Adikemere Fortune. I hope I pronounced that very well. Uh, yes. So it's a let me see. It's a community sharing app. All right. So I'll just read through the idea. So you get a picture of where I'm coming from. Okay. Before I start that, basically let's list out the tools we'll be using today. Uh, yeah, my text to. Oh, that's too big. All right, so today we'll be using figma.com. So if you don't already have a Figma account, simply open your browser and type in figma.com, create an account, and you are good to go. We'll be using figma.com. Also, we'll be using, okay, what's the name of this site? All right, I want to give the right names now. We'll be using miro.com. I hope that was what I saw there. Yes, we're using miro.com. Would also be using um, either we'll be using flat icons, get some icons, or like any other icon site you know. We'll be using particulars. So what I use this for is to get colors. I think basically these are the things we'll be using for now. If there are other things we'll be using, I will simply let you know. Okay, so the idea. I hope you can all see my screen. I would like you to comment. Uh, I would like you to comment if you can see my screen. I believe you can all see it. All right. So the idea. Community Share is an app. Um, so they are contemplating whether it should be an app or a web platform where communities can collectively contribute cash by individuals of the community so as to carry out different projects. So let me just give a rough breakdown. Okay, let's say Oshodi or it's all a local government. They have like 80,000 individuals or 80,000 people, and for instance, they want to build roads or construct the road of their community. So sometimes everything is not about the government or everything is not necessarily about, yeah, who is the government and all of that. There are little things we can all do as individuals of the community, right? So if there was a platform, let's say, oh, the community signs up and it's like, let's build our roads. The total cost is like 400 million or 40 million, and let everybody contribute 500 naira. If you're a part of this community, join this community, then let's contribute towards this particular fund. Yes, that's basically what the idea is about. I believe we get an understanding of what the idea is. So for me as a designer, getting understanding the idea and being able to draft it out in my own words and all of that. So that leads me to creating a design brief, right? So in the design brief, there is I list out all of these points under like different headings. Okay, so what's the problem statement? So the problem is that communities, when they're about to start a huge project, they find it hard for individuals to contribute money. Okay, let's say even in this COVID-19 period, right? Okay, you want to help out the less privileged in your community, but at the same time, you don't want to leave your house. At the same time, you want to donate or you want to contribute to that particular community cause, and you don't have the number of probably the chairman or all of that. So if there was this kind of app, right? You could just go there, go to the community post, go to the particular project, let's say contribution for COVID-19 center or something. Then you contribute to that particular project. Yeah. So that's the problem we're trying to like solve. So the background, so yeah, we all understand like where the ideas come from. So for the outcome of the project, so it needs to be a web or an app, yeah, that allows collective contribution of individuals. So individuals should be able to um, contribute um, to a particular project or fund, yeah, project. Categories, lifestyle, trends. You have login, sign up, normal trends. You have create a community. You have the contribution or donation feature. You have as a tip, you can add a chat feature where individuals or community can like have a social like platform where they all chat together and get to know themselves well. So in the case of security theft, all of that, all of them can like chat or message themselves and all that. So that's like an added feature. That's not like the main feature we're trying to do, but yeah, it's always nice to have a really um social part to your app, right? So target audience, basically individuals in the community. Um, yeah, so for research, there are different ways of conducting research. You can send out surveys, you can interview some members of the community, you can carry out a computer analysis if you feel there's already an existing platform that does search. Um, yes, so timeline. Oh, app must be designed and ready for development in one day. How do I go about that? How do I do all of these things in one day? You begin to ask yourself, yes, how do I do this? How do I do that? That's why I am coming here to help us. Yes, okay, do we, I think we understand that part. If there are questions, um, now, I don't know, I'm not really seeing the questions, or how do I see the question? So I can like communicate at the same time where they're dropping their questions. All right. Okay. I think I can now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So nobody has asked any question yet. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes. So after I create my, okay, let's say design brief and all of that, there are different ways of, let me say, like moving on from there. So there are tools that can help make a lot of things like easier. So I use Miro or Miro. I can't get the pronunciation well now. Alright, .com to draft out like brainstorming sessions, my user flow, wireframes, all of that. So yes, would just come up to Miro.com and probably just type wireflows or user flows rather. Okay, if you can find user flows, just pick one of you can use a user story map, or let's see, trying to look at all of the templates they have here. I know there are more templates. All right, let's pick oh, I have only one board left. Yeah, but yes, so user story map or user flows, depending on whichever works for you, it's something you can easily create. So create different user stories, create different user flows. Um, so user flows, user Okay, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, why did I forget to do that? Alright, just head over to Miro.com and click on um, any of the templates you see there, depending on what you want to achieve, right? So I have trying to create my user flow here. So for my splash screen, I probably want them to log in, or either they log in, or will I say, or they sign up or register. So basically, you can do as many things as you want on Miro as pertaining to UX, right? To be able to analyze the data you got, the data you got to be able to create your wireframes and all that. So for instance, if I'm done creating my user flow, so your user flow, it will depend on, okay, the particular idea you're trying to build. Okay, so for this particular app, so we have splash screen, login, register. So if the person registers as, so I think for me, I would prefer they all register as an individual. Then you can probably create a community of your own. All right, so after registration, what would I want each user to do? um okay, probably either they join a community, or they create a or they create a new community. Up we're getting the flow. Let me be sure live comments are not coming in, but yes. Okay, either they register or they create a new community. They register, they join the community, or they create a new community. So for instance, if I join a community, so what should I be able to see? The different actions I should be able to. All right, view community project. Okay, I'm trying to change the background of. All right, yeah. I should be able to view community project. I should be able to contribute to a project. So depending on your idea, you might want to do this, and sometimes you can, instead of doing this on a tool, you can easily just draft it out on paper. It's not necessary you make it on a tool, but if you be drafting it out on paper, in order for you to be able to show your process, you might have to draft out in such a way that you can take a screenshot of it later, so you can add to your submissions, right? You can add to your submissions so that you don't leave any of those steps out. I like doing it on a digital tool because it's actually easier to share when it's on a digital platform or when it's on a digital tool. So if I create a new community, what should I be able to do? I think add members, add or invite. invite members to join. um, I should also be able to um, so after adding members I should be able to add admins as well, but majorly I should be able to add a community community project. Okay, I believe we all like get the idea of where this is going, right? Yes, that is that's how like your user story, or sorry, your user journey or user flows like actually go about. So I'm trying to be brief, just taking them bit by bit. If you're going to major into like UI UX design, you probably want to elaborate on each of these processes a lot more, right? Yes. So when I was talking about like the design brief, I mentioned survey. So yes, um, it's actually important when statistics is involved to be able to back up your idea. So like sending out surveys to individuals, like just asking them questions pertaining to the idea you're trying to build. Okay, are you a member of the community? How do you guys like make contributions or donate to different projects in your community? Yes, so basically those are the things you can add to your surveys. You can also like sit down with probably, well, you can't sit down now, everybody's remote, but if it's possible, if you can get hold of probably the CDA chairman, like the community development like association chairman, and ask some certain questions that okay, how do they disburse funds? Okay, or you can even get the financial secretary. I know in my community there's a financial secretary. They ask him, okay, if there's a particular project, how do you know who has contributed and who has not? uh, um, uh, so for me, what they do, I think they just carry an exercise book and like go from house to house. Okay, 500, 1,000 naira, they take the person's name and all of that. All of those manual processes, you can't really monitor those things, right? Yeah, I believe you all agree with me. So these are like the different people you need to ask those questions, get to understand okay how they do it manually, or probably even there's if they already have an existing app that they use. um After creating user story, user journey, user flows, surveys, all of that, you want to quickly run into or rush into your wireframe, right? For Miro.com, it has a wireframing template as well that allows you to be able to create um, quickly create wireframe screens and link them together. Yes, as you can see, this is an example, right? Wireframes are simply like let me not call them sketch within that one, like paper and pen, right? But it's like a digital representation of your idea, like the first like step without necessarily thinking too much about oh what color should I use, what text should I use, how should this and this look like, and all of that. It's just like a raw um, representation of what your ideas are, or what you're trying to bring out to the table as fast as possible. So wireframes in this kind of situation, like an hackathon, if you can do them out in 30 to 1 hour, like it's going to be like pretty great. So you don't waste too much time. You roll out your wireframes. If there's a particular like stakeholder or mentor you want to like share it with, let the person just go through it and assist some few things. so you move ahead, then fine. If not, just go ahead, complete your wireframes. Sometimes I do my wireframes on Miro. Sometimes I can as well. You do them on Figma. So that, as I said, you're not paying so much attention to colors. You're not paying so much attention to text or all of that. You're just like fully representing all of these ideas as fast as you can on like a digital software. Sometimes you can use your paper or your notepad to also sketch out wireframes. It depends on which one works best for you, which one can clearly represent your ideas, which one can make you as fast as you want to be, and at the same time, which one would you be able to share with the judges, that they get a clear picture of what you're trying to do. So, for instance, if I'm to share this particular screen now, the judges can quickly click through all of these things step by step, step by step. Unlike if I had it drawn on paper, I believe we get my idea. Same thing with if I did it on Figma. So yes, that's basically how wireframes and all of that are done. Once so now I'll just explain how I got to get all of these wireframes and my reasons for doing them. Then we continue together as I build the other screens, the wireframes for the other screens. All right. As I said, the name of my app is Community Share. If um, starting with, I just look through a few apps to see, okay, how are those apps being done? What are the what do I call it? What are the norms? What are the basic things that your app should actually have? All right, let me quickly um, all right, so now I'm just going to go back to my I'll just go back to my user flow now. So in here, I'm adding onboarding screens. Then for my onboarding screen, the user moves to login or register. All right. So yes, that is so for every iteration and all of that, you want to go back to the previous step and to see, okay, how can that fit into my flows, and how does that fit into what I'm trying to build. All right, so my start screen, basically I wanted to just take the name of the community. Then I wanted to as well take some images of people, so that on first glance, once anybody opens the app, they see that yes, I'm building for a community, or this app I'm trying to access is for a community. And yeah, for my onboarding screens, I am trying to show it in such a way that, okay, there's an image here, there's an image, then it's going to take a particular text or a major function of the app and explain it. So basically just explaining how major functions of the app work, right? And yes, just a glance or a brief, so that the user can understand, oh, okay, this app can help me do this app can help me do that, this app can help me do that. Yes. So immediately I log in or I sign up.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question,
All right.
right? Because you mentioned something. You said you could look at designs, look at other designs to get a glance of, how. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Good evening, and I hope you all are doing well. Oh, sorry about that. So you
Okay.
said you could look at some other apps, yes, and inspiration, and get an idea about how you can continue building your app. So maybe you can break break that down a bit. How do you source for inspiration, design, so that you can get like a clear path on how you go about designing your app. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that question. Okay, so for me, apart from going through Play Store or App Store, just searching for my common keyword. So in this case, my keyword would be community. My keyword would be like contribution or funding or donation or crowd funding. All of those major things. I just probably get my pen and paper, write down a list of like different keywords that are pertaining to the idea I'm trying to build, right? Go to App Store, Play Store, try to search for those ideas. Or better still, there are different design inspiration sites you can as well visit. So there are sites like Dribble. Dribble is spelled DRI triple BLE. Dribble.com. There are also sites like Behance.net. Um, there are sites like uplabs.com. Yes, so basically, all of these apps are like they have a lot of design inspirations for you to pick from, right? For instance, I'm on Dribble and I want to search for one of the keywords, which is crowdfunding. So searching for crowdfunding, I would get series of different ideas that has to do with crowdfunding. All right, I'm getting different shots. Some of them majorly are web shots. I just have to change my search option now to mobile on my search filter. I change it to mobile so that I get more of mobile. So I get more of mobile. What they call it now? Mobile designs. Okay, so now internet needs to. So all of these here are different examples. If they are to load properly, you see different examples you can actually pull ideas from, and different um, ways you can actually do all of these things. So here is an example of a crowdfunding chat, which you can convert into like a community chat. And here is crowdfunding app just showing or displaying the project, then the amount in donation, as well as um, how in depth or the target, or how close they are to meeting that target. So these are like different inspirations you can get depending, as I said, depending on the idea you're trying to build. Write out a list of keywords, right? Come to this site, write down, search for those keywords one after the other. You get tons and tons of inspirations to pick from. Uh, like these are like they're literally endless. Let me put it that way. They are literally like endless. You just have just it just keeps going and going. So these are different places to pick ideas from. I believe I have answered your questions. Your question answers. Yes. So we'll be coming here to pick some ideas, or let me just pick some of the ideas now so I can use them while I'm making my wireframe or while okay. So yes, so I just copy image. I go back to where I'm designing and paste my image. Control C, Control V. Yeah, just like major. So copy image. Come here to paste. What else? I saw a chart. Yes. Just copy the image. Go back to my design file. So, as I said, there are different places you can get inspiration from. There's Dribble, there's Behance, um, Behance, yes, Behance as well has a lot of things you can get ideas from. All you just have to search for is the right keyword. There's also Uplabs. Uplabs too, the same thing. It's like you get different inspirations from there. All right, moving on. Moving on, let's look at user flow to analyze what's next. Okay, now I already have my onboarding screens. What do I do next? So I'm moving to login and register. Okay. Okay, so on Figma, to create a frame, simply click on your F, um, letter F on keyboard, or come to this top left corner and click on frame. Then look at your right hand side or right hand yes, right hand side, and click on the particular frame you would like to use. For me, currently I'm using iPhone 11 Pro or iPhone X. So as the next thing, I want users to create an account or log in. All right. Okay, I need to zoom this in so you see what I'm typing. Okay, that's too much. Let's try 36. Still too much. Let's look at 4. I think, yeah, I can start with this. To create an account, all right. I'm just looking for the right keywords. So most of the time, even when I'm designing wireframe, I always advise that you use um, text that your users can understand or relate with. So some people just end up using Lorem Ipsum, and if I'm looking through that design, I don't even understand. Or what do you mean? What what is your intention for the particular piece, or what are you trying to say? So I try to use real text or text similar to like all of these things, similar to what I'm designing anytime I'm working on an app. All right, so create an account. Continue using this app. Kindly create your account. Um, I also want them to know that okay, they can add their community when they log in. I think I'll put that down, or yes, I'll put that down, not here now. All right, to continue this app, kindly create your account. All right, next thing, I need a rectangle. Alright, I think full name. What am I typing? Full name. It should be above. As I said, wireframes, I'm not adding colors. I'm just going to use different variants or different. Alright, always group your elements. Well, when I say for now, it's not important, but yeah, at the same time, it's important so that you don't give yourself so much stress um, when you are developing or when the developer is. So for my phone number, I want them to select like a country code. Then at the same time, now input their phone number. Let me just put. If you saw that, well, feel free to call me. Yes, right. Enter phone number. So drop down. I just need a polygon. Let's see. Then I flip the polygon. Phone number. What else? What else do I want to ask them for? Yes, most importantly, password. So there are different approach you can actually take to this. Um, Sometimes you can as well just do phone number and password. Some of them might not have email addresses, especially communities that are not like super digital and all of that. Yes, so you can do phone number, password, or email password, or phone number and OTP. It all depends on the approach you want to take to it. So now I'm just follow me here. All right. So for password, I would like to have an I toggle, like, oh, confirm password, show me password. So I use plugins. I don't know if you've heard about Figma plugins, but yes, I use Figma plugins a lot. And for Figma plugins, I can. Why is it taking so much time to load? All right. So for my Figma plugins, I am looking for feather icons. I already have feather icons installed. I don't know why I'm not seeing. All right. So if you're using the Figma app, you can easily access the plugins. I'm not sure why it's not saying here. Okay, but all right, I can't access the plugins to get my icons. What do I do next? So there is a site called the Now Project, or it's better still, flaticons.com. Flaticons.com helps you get like tons and tons of icons. Some are free, some are paid for. Right now, I believe all of us just want to use free icons. Yes, I want to search for I. Sorry. I'll search for hi and then want to download the I. Okay, I've downloaded my I. So go back to my design. Just drop my I there. How many minutes I have left, Andrew? I don't know how long this session is supposed to be for.
Yeah, so we are 45 minutes now, and maybe 15 minutes to go through the rapid prototyping.
Okay.
But so far, it's been good, right? And more importantly, we can see the screens, and we know the tools we can use, and
Hello, can you? Hello, I'm having a session. Can you stop calling?
design. If anyone has a question about the best way to get inspiration, we can always ask our questions, etc. Yeah. Dami, you can share your screen. You can share back your screen as well.
Okay, so let me continue from where I stopped. I'm just going to be pretty fast about it now. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is my sign up page or registration page, depending on whatever you want to call it. And for my login page, pretty much the same thing. The difference would now be in what information is required. So email address or phone number, depending on whichever one the user used to register. So already have an account. So these are basically things I see in other apps. So I'm just trying to like follow them. So your wireframes don't have to be necessarily sleek and clean and all of that like this, but yes, you get the idea of wireframes and all that. Now, if I'm to now move this and into um, let's say iFi designs, all I have to do is simply copy all of this, paste this here. Okay, so I've created some other screens to just be plugging in, just basically following typically the same idea. All right, this is my wireframe. For instance, I want to turn this to iFi designs and all of that. So first, I want to get which colors would I be using. Yeah, majorly right now, I think two colors. So I go to the color. All I have to do, I search for one of my keywords. One of my keywords is share. Another keyword can be community. Let me try community and see um, what community brings for me. Okay, so community brings this for me. There's still a blue here. Let me go back to share. I think I love the colors I was seeing. Share. All right, just copy the X code, paste it here. Um, which other colors do I want to run with? Yes, I have my colors. I just use all with the same feel. I want to change all of that to blue. You can see how all my buttons here have changed. For this one, I just have to change them from solid to like an image background. Yes, once I have an image background. Also a very good site you might want to have is pixels.com. So pixels.com has a lot of free stock images that you can make use of. So simply I'm searching for community, and I'll just be getting different images that represent community there. Now depending on your audience, use white or black images, all of that. Well, just pick images that represents or clearly states what you are what you're trying to build and how it clearly like communicates that. So I'm just going to download this. um yes, download the next one. Yeah, I'll just be using those two. Once it's done downloading, I'll replace them. All right, I'm just dragging and dropping into the image rectangle I created. Okay, so it's taking up the whole of the screen, which I don't want it to. I want it to just pick up this particular one. It's doing the same thing. All right, I'll just bring this in. Let me just open this up, okay? Why you? All right, so I'll bring my image in here. Let's see if we can beat that now. All right, waiting. I'm waiting for you. Yes, same thing for the other one. Okay, now that we have like some of our screens completed, now let's go into prototyping itself. So in Figma, if you look at the top right, beside design, you see prototype. So click on prototype, and you can decide to choose a device that you want, all of that and all of that. Those are um, things you can check out. But simply, we just want to link all of these screens together so that when we share, the judges or whoever is doing it to be able to see the clickable like screens and just click through all of that. Yeah, so for my start screen, where did I say I'm going to? So it's going to onboarding, from the first onboarding to the next, the other onboarding to the next. Then for login, it takes me to my login page. For sign up, takes me to my sign up page. From sign up, I can log in. From login, I can sign up. It's pretty straightforward, right? Yes. So that is that. So basically, we get an idea of how all of this works. Yes, get an idea of how all of this works. I don't know if there are any questions or if you would like me to continue with building at least some more screens, like okay, how would the community page, main page look like, and how would the project page look like. So yeah, project page can look somewhat like this. I already have an idea of what project page is going to look like. I just need an idea of what I want my community page to look like the main like forum of the app. So as a user, when you log in, you're given the opportunity to either join a community or create a community. So there are different features you might want to add. Um, First, you might want to have like a search. What am I drawing? So I need a rectangle. You see how I just keep copying things and reusing them? It basically helps to make things faster.
Yes, so I think also you can share with us some shortcuts that would make life easy for you as well.
Okay.
So we also get to know, if I want to copy, this is what the shortcut to use. If I want to paste, this is the shortcut to use, and yes, right. You can share the shortcuts, and then we can also tell, okay, so that's how I'll copy, right? Yeah,
All right.
yes,
So
that would be good
for
too.
shortcuts, it depending on what you want to do. So immediately you sign up on Figma, Figma gives you this shortcut file, or like a shortcut document, right? So it contains different shortcut commands you can use. But at the same time, I'll just share some with you. Copy and paste in Control C, Control V works. On Figma, you don't necessarily have to
Yeah.
save your work. Figma also saves your work as long as you're connected to the internet. For scaling a tool, you can just press K on your keyboard to scale a tool, to scale an item. Sorry, to use the scale tool. To get
Okay.
a frame, quick frame from here. To use any of these tools, rectangle, lines, arrows, ellipses, yes. To use the text tool, place a comment. Those are like different shortcuts that can be used. Alright, to duplicate a particular thing, Ctrl D works. To group a particular thing, Ctrl G works. To change the color, there's this fill tool down here. You can easily change colors of anything. If you're finding troubles downloading icons, you can easily create your own icons yourself instead of downloading it. You just need to know, okay, what icons you want to draw, and just tear it down into like components and decide, okay, this is what I want to do, and get it done. So now I just designed this search icon and this hamburger menu icon. So those are different things you can also use, but sometimes it's also good to go download icons as well if you have the time. Yes, this is all right. For alignment, there are alignment tools up here. As I said, your prototype doesn't have to be perfect, but let it be something we can all like relate to, or we can all see and clearly understand what your project is about. It helps to know that, so that it helps to be able to, once we clearly understand what your project is about, you will be able to know, or will be able to fully understand, even if your, let's say, your codes are not working, but if you have a fully made prototype or a click-through prototype, it's easier for us to look at prototype and say, okay, this was what they actually wanted to achieve in this particular place. I hope you understand. All right, it's just going to be name of community, number of members, then like a button to like request to join, or probably join itself. I not necessarily request to join. Let's see. my button here can be 30, 3 out of 30. Alright, note fill. I want it to be my color. This also my color. Don't forget to group your elements. Okay, so I would like to replace this particular thing with an image, depending on, yeah, just like a community logo or community image if they have one. Some communities have logos, more like community profile picture. Okay, I'd also like to put a background behind this. So it's going to be white though, so it's not pretty going to show, but let it be there. Alright, in order to just duplicate this, Ctrl D works for you to just keep duplicating. To know the distances between the two, Shift Alt does that for you. I want this to be lighter. Yes, that's what I have there. Okay. So from login, they should be able to join a community. So to share your prototype link, simply click on share.
Yep.
Or to share your design link now, simply click on share. To share your prototype link, you can present your prototype by clicking on the present tool here. And once you present, click on the prototype link, and you can share with whoever you want to view it. Sharing is pretty easy using Figma, using the share tool. Presenting using the present tool here, this like display icon here. Once you present, once it loads up, you would see how it looks like. So I'm just going to show you once it loads up, and we'll be rounding up this session with that. So okay, let me just have, all right, so start screen, onboarding sessions, onboarding pages. Okay, sign up, fill in my information, or login. So yeah, so basically this is how like click through prototype works, to see how easy it is for me to like follow the prototype and know, okay, this is what the app is about. Yes, I think that will be all for today. If we have more time, we would have like designed the entire like flow of the app here. But yeah.
Yeah. You can see your screen so that you see the
Okay.
But that's super. So and we're still able to do such design, right? So
yes.
Generally, with the tools that have been mentioned, 1 second. Yeah.
So this is basically 1 hour, right? And we've been able to achieve all of this. So not to talk of like if you have like up to 5 hours, finish up your prototype. There's probably no excuse for you to not at least come up with like something.
Yeah. Can we see the designs?
Okay.
Can we see the designs? Yeah. The maybe we can just showcase the designs again. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, in less than an hour, we were able to do this. Yeah, and it looks good. It looks really amazing. So, as it is, there are tools out there that can enable you to generate your designs real quick, right? You can use Miro for your wireframes. You can use Figma for prototyping, quick prototyping. You can get your inspirations from Dribble, Uplabs, and you can see how other individuals have tried to create the same app ideas that you have, so you can draw inspiration from that. There are a lot of design contexts, there are a lot of design standards and teams as well that you can also learn about. But so far, a lot of tools can also help you generate color schemes like Piccola. Tools like Pexels can allow you to get images. Tools like flat icons can enable you gain get icons, and there are free icons as well. So generally having your user flow. So it's very important that you start with your user flow. You have your user flow ready. You have your user flow. You know what pages will be there, and so from each of these pages, it will give you insight on how you would create your wireframe, and then you know what your wireframe will entail. So I know that if I'm offering a login page, I would have a button that says your username and your password, or your email and your password. With a small button down there that you can click. And so once you have this wireframe, you can move on and take everything to Figma, and you can create this low fidelity prototypes where it is quick, everything is on one color, and you can just do it in black and white. Or you can even take it a step further and make high fidelity prototypes as we have here. And everything will look colorful, right? You can put your flows together and match it just the way they should be, and it would also be like a presentation. So yes, I really want to thank Danny for making the session. Yes, and Rima says yes, very nice. Thank you very much. That it was insightful. Yes, we believe it was insightful. We hope this session was really valuable to you, and we'll be back here tomorrow. So um, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep hacking. We're expecting your submissions this evening, so send in your first draft, and we can't wait to see it. So, bye everyone, and thank you, Dami, for the session.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, for having me. Yeah.